Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Today we are going to be making birria tacos. Yes, we are. We're going to be using this ground chunk. We're going to use some short ribs. We're going to be using all these chilies here. We're going to also use the Mexican oregano, cinnamon stick, beef broth. We're going to use the ground coriander, the cloves, the cumin, the peppercorn, granulated onion, the cheese. I mean, everything. Basil. We're throwing the kitchen sink in here, okay? And that's what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be doing. You can see that's cilantro. All right. So I'm getting ready to get started. I'll show you what we're getting ready to do. All right, we are back. So what we're going to do is you, of course, rinse your meat off. And then after you rinse it off, then you pat it dry, okay? We're going to put some of this onion salt on there. You can absolutely use salt and pepper. I don't use a lot of salt when I cook. To each its own. Do what you feel comfortable with, okay? And then with that little grinder that I showed you earlier, we're going to go ahead and get some of that pepper on here. And we're going to season both sides of this, okay? This is a lengthy process. It takes time. We're going to sear this off. I've already got my Dutch oven going. And we're going to sear this on all sides, okay? That's what we're going to do. Okay, use your high heat oil. You know how much I love olive oil because it's healthier and it's just better for you. But this is not one of those times we can use olive oil because olive oil burns, okay? So we have to use some real oil. So I'm just going to put one piece of meat in here. You hear that? I'm going to get in here as much as I can. And like I said, we're going to sear this on all sides. We want a nice, beautiful golden brown on all sides of this meat. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to brown this up on all sides. Can you see that? We're going to brown this up on all sides, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. And then I'll be back. All right. This is the way you want your meat to look once you've seared it all off. Okay? You want it to look like this. You want to get a nice little crust on there, okay? Uh-oh. There we go. All right. So now I'm going to take you to the next step. All right. Our next step is to cook these onions. We're going to use exactly what was left in the bottom of that pan so it'll help us get up all that goodness down there. So we're going to deglaze the pan and also cook these onions at the same time. That's exactly what we're going to do. And we're going to put in a little bit of tomato paste too. Okay, maybe not a little bit, but some tomato paste. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this all saute all up. Get up all those drippings in the bottom of that pan. Let that tomato paste coat these onions. They're going to also start turning a different color. Once these onions turn brown, then it'll be done, which is going to probably take about 7 to 10 minutes. Okay? So that's what we're getting ready to do now. All right? That's exactly what we're getting ready to do. All right? And I'll be back. All right, we've let that cook for 5 minutes. Now I'm going to put in 4 cloves of olive. If I can get it out, 4 cloves of garlic. And we're going to let that cook for about 5 minutes, okay? And then I'll come back and show you the next step. All right, we are ready for the next step. We're going to put in our beef broth. Doesn't that look good? Almost makes you want to eat it just like that, doesn't it? But we're also going to put in, I'm going to put in some water in that. And I'm going to use a whole bottle of water. Okay? Look at that. Yum, yum, yum. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and season this a little bit. I'm going to put in that onion powder, granulated onion. I'm going to go ahead and put in some cumin. Not a whole lot. Then we're going to go ahead and put in those whole cloves. We're just going to put in a few of those. I actually should have got a grinder for that. We're going to put in the ground coriander. Hold on a second. This is how much of the whole cloves I'm going to put in. I'm going to go ahead and put in that ground coriander. Then I'm also going to put in some of these pepper flakes. I said pepper flakes. The ground peppercorns. Okay, and then we're also going to put in, not a lot. Oh, let me put in a, I want to forget to put that in. I'm going to drop in 2 cinnamon sticks. I'm also going to put in some bay leaf. And I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3. All right. Then we're going to put in some apple cider vinegar. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to give this a little zhuzh. Stir it up a little bit. And then you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to put that meat back in here. Oh, don't want to forget the peppers. Get all those peppers in there. I de-seeded those. The heat is in the seeds. Remember that. The heat is in the seeds. Now, if you want extra heat, leave it in there. Okay? And then I'm also going to get some of this Mexican oregano in there. And then, you want to know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to add that meat to it now. And we're going to bring this to a boil with all that meat in there. Well, we're not going to really bring it to a boil. What we're going to do is, we're going to start letting this stuff cook. We got to get all this in that pan, too. Look at that. This is going to be so good. So good. Now, we got to get you in here. But it won't matter because I'm going to put my lid on it. And then we're going to let this cook for an hour on medium heat with the lid on. And then we're going to come back and stir it all up and make sure everything's doing its thing and everybody's getting to know one another, becoming best friends, because that's what we need them to do. And we'll be back in an hour and I'll show you what we're looking like. Look at this. We are an hour in. The meat is still not where I want it to be. Alright? Because we want this meat to fall off the bones. You hear me? Fall off the bones. But look how good that looks. I just moved it off the fire to bring it closer to me so we can get a look at it. Alright, we're still going. Still going, and we're an hour in, and this still needs to cook from anywhere to 3.5 to 4 hours. Now, had we put this in the crock pot, we would have been done in 9 hours and we wouldn't have to watch it at all. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, about 2 hours in, I took out the peppers. I pureed them with about a cup of the juice. So I'm going to pour that back in, and I'm going to continue to let it cook, okay? All right. I have taken my meat out. I have completely torn it up. I just used my hands and just broke it up into pieces. Here's our, you can call it gravy, you can call it consomme, whatever you like. Former word is consomme. So that's over here. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be real quick. Take your taco, put it all the way in there. Oh, Jesus, that's hot. And we're going to do 3 at a time. Just dunk it in, put it in here. You want to submerge the taco completely. This is how I do my enchiladas as well. You see me do that. So then, talk about a mess. This is going to be messy. But that's okay. Because at the end, there is going to be some goodness going on. So we're going to take some of that cheese. And I'm just going to put mine. You can do yours any way you want to. I'm just going to put mine on one side. That way it's easier to fold. You know what I'm saying? But you can do whatever you want. Your kitchen, your rules, right? Your kitchen, your rules. Do what you want to do. All right, you can add as much cheese as you want, as little cheese as you want. Like I say again, your kitchen, your rules. Do exactly what it is that you want to do. I'm just giving you a baseline. All right? And these things are going to be a little messy assembling, but you know what? That's all right. We're going to put some of that meat in here. And remember, I used the chunk roast, and I also used the ribs, the short ribs. And let me tell you, the mixtures of the meat. All right? And you don't have to stuff these like there is no other stuffing. But again, like I said, your kitchen, your rules. Put as much meat in here as you want. I'm going to put a little bit because my family likes a little bit of meat. And then we're just going to fold these closed. Okay? And then we're just going to let them cook. And we're going to flip them on both sides. Okay? So that's what we're looking like. All right? You can see that. See that? I'll give you a better shot in just a second, but I got to wash my hands. I'll be back. All right, this is what we got going on. I'm going to let this cook for a couple of minutes on both sides. I did not put any oil in this pan, no olive oil, no grease, no nothing. I'm letting those juices do their own thing because if you remember, there was plenty of fat in that meat, okay? Plenty of fat in that meat. So with that being said, we dipped it in fat juice, okay? Okay, so I'm going to give it a couple of minutes on each side, let them get a little crispy, all right? Then I'm going to flip it, and I'll be back. All right. I just put a little bit of that consomme into a bowl. I'm going to put a little bit of lime. This is half a lime. You don't have to add this. Completely up to you. It's completely up to you. All right. And then I'm going to put one other thing in here. Okay. Cilantro. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. All right, I couldn't find so I could chop it up myself. But they've got these neat little containers. I don't know if you've ever seen these in the store. They're in the produce section. This is at Walmart. It saves you the chop. A couple of dollars more than you want to spend. But there you go. I'm going to come back, show you this plated up. I'll be back. All right, all right. I will say that I did cook that meat on slow and low with my Dutch oven for 6 hours. I just went on and took it a whole 6 hours. I wanted that meat to be so tender. I did. I couldn't help myself. You can do it however you want. This is how I did mine. Okay? I put it with a couple of slices of lime. There's the consomme. I put some parsley inside of that. And if you like onions, absolutely put those in there. But this plate is for my daughter. She doesn't want those raw onions in there. But you absolutely can. Saute some, put some in there. Whatever you like to do. Please, you guys, like, subscribe, and share, okay? Things made easy with Gigi all day, every day. You hear me? All day, every day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I do. Everybody be blessed. Stay safe. And there's no telling what Gigi's going to be cooking next time. Come back. Bye-bye.